The screen. Thompson still trying to find one and can't.
He just looks at Count Curry.
Brown with the open three. A little bit strong. Curry with the board. Quick hit ahead to Klay Thompson. Missing again, but the follow no good. Wiggins battling, had it knocked loose.
I don't like the way that Robert Williams is moving in this ballgame. If I'm the Warriors and Steph Curry, I'm putting him in high pick and roll action.
Klay turns the corner and misses the layup badly.
Hey guys, Emmanuel here, and thanks for tuning in. Now, let's talk about the NBA Finals. Game 2 was on Sunday, and it was pretty good. Game 3 is tomorrow. Game 2 was pretty good. It was very exhilarating. It was very fun to watch, especially watching Jordan Poole hit a half-court buzzer beater. I think that was the highlight of the game.
Golden State has a lot of time. Poole with the ball. Launches. Oh! Money! It's just begun.
Flat out, get it done. Recognizing the clock dwindling down. Knocks down the long ball. Good old-fashioned game of pool.
This presentation of the NBA Finals continues.
First of all, let's review the entire game. Let's see what actually happened throughout the entire game. The story of the game was Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, and turnovers on the part of the Celtics. The Celtics didn't play particularly well because of turnovers. I think that's what cost them the game. Celtics played really well in the first half, right? They held their own. Jayson Tatum was on fire, and it seemed like he couldn't miss anything. He had 28 points and made 6 3-pointers. He was on fire. But unfortunately, that was the only good thing that was happening for the Celtics, because Jaylen Brown and the rest of the team were ice cold. Jaylen Brown had 17 points, and the guy who was really impactful in game 1, who I would say is the reason they won game 1, Al Horford, only had 2 points. So him falling off a cliff after having a monstrous game 1, not good for the Celtics at all. And on top of that, the turnovers for the Celtics was through the roof. In total, the team had 18 turnovers. And that's going to cost you. That's going to cost you a game if you have 18 turnovers, especially against a team like the Golden State Warriors. If there's ever a time and a place and who you should not have 18 turnovers, it's against the Warriors in the finals at Chase Center. If you do that, it's a guarantee you're going to lose the game. And that's exactly what happened. Warriors took advantage of the fact that the Celtics could not handle the ball. They could not protect the ball. And that shifted the tide in game 2 in the third quarter. Because going into the second quarter, the Warriors were only up by 2. So it was a close game until Boston gave them the game. Boston beat themselves, right? Boston handed them the game on a silver platter through making too many mistakes. But what I really wanted to talk about today is Klay Thompson and how bad he's been throughout this whole series. In the first half of the game, Klay Thompson didn't make any 3-pointers. He was really bad. Klay Thompson was really atrocious. Like, I mean, this guy could not hit the ocean with a pebble if you had a gun to his head. It was atrocious to see, and that's saying something for a guy like Klay Thompson, right? It wasn't until the third quarter in which Klay Thompson hit his first 3-pointer, right? And when he did, he was 1 of 8. That's crazy to me. All in all, Klay Thompson was really bad in game 2. So much so to the point where Steve Kerr he kept him in the game in garbage time so he could try and get Klay Thompson his confidence back. Now, I've always said this about Klay Thompson. I've always said that in the entire NBA, there's nobody that can get hotter than Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson is the only player that when he gets going and when he's hotter than Stephen Curry. But just like any other coin, there's 2 sides to a coin. On the other side, Klay Thompson is like any other player in the entire NBA. He can go through slumps, and he has picked the worst timing to be going through a slump. The NBA Finals. That is the worst. If there were ever a place you should not be going through a slump, it's the NBA Finals. And the reason I say that is because Klay Thompson didn't play well in game 1. In game 1, he had 15 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. In game 2, it was even worse. He had 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. Virtually useless to his team. And he hasn't been the same defender that we know Klay Thompson to be. Again, he attempted 8 3-pointers and only made 1. This is not sustainable. This cannot continue. Steph Curry can't continue to carry this team by himself. It's not sustainable. The rest of the team didn't particularly play well either. Draymond Green had 9 points, Andrew Wiggins had 11 points, and Kevon Looney had 12 points. Jordan Poole is the only player that stepped up, that came to the party with Stephen Curry. He had 17 points and 1 half-court buzzer beater. And Stephen Curry was literally carrying the Warriors on his back like Jesus did with the cross. He had 29 points. He led all scorers on both teams. He beat out Jayson Tatum by 1 point, had 6 rebounds and 4 assists. But again, this is not sustainable. He can't do this throughout the whole series. He needs his co-star in Klay Thompson. The reason the Warriors can play mediocre and still be able to blow out a good team like the Celtics is because the Celtics beat themselves. That's exactly what happened. They made too many mistakes and they beat themselves. But the thing is, I don't think this is sustainable for the Celtics either. I think the Celtics are self-aware and smart enough to the point where they're going to make adjustments. With a coach like Ime Udoka, I imagine they're going to fix and patch up those mistakes. So next game, expect them to be better. Game 3, I expect them to be even better. I expect them to be hungrier. I expect them to have higher intensity in front of the home crowds. It's going to be a battle, a dogfight, a barrage for the Warriors. And if they hope to withstand that storm, Klay Thompson has to step up. Klay has to play well. Klay has to play good. And I'm hoping he does, right? Because going into the series, before the series started, I picked Klay Thompson as my dark horse to be the finals MVP. And so far, man oh man was I ever wrong. I've been let down. Klay Thompson has to play better basketball, and I think that he's going to play better basketball because maybe the pressure at home for him to perform in front of the crowd has just gotten to him. The pressure now shifts onto the Celtics to win at home, so the pressure isn't on Klay Thompson so much. So I hope he plays better away than at home, and from there he can gain his confidence and roll with that. The woes of the injury mentally is still on Klay because this is all mental. This is all mental, right? That's why Steve Kerr still had him in the game even when the Warriors were blowing out the Celtics, just for him to make a few shots, see his shots go in a game, gain that confidence. But that needs to happen. That needs to happen if the Warriors want to win the series. But yes, guys, those are just my thoughts on Klay Thompson and what's been going on. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you like this kind of content, this is the channel for you. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a like, drop your thoughts in the comments below, and click here to watch why Lakers fans should be running for the hills. And aside from that, see you next time, kids.